Why does Hillary Clinton make so many mistakes on her book tour rollout and in the book itself? Well, the book itself was designed as a propaganda piece, and people are shooting holes in it, as is very appropriate. But why the mess-ups in the interviews? Why did she perform so badly in the interview with Diane Sawyer? Why is she constantly tripping all over herself on issues from Iraq to gay marriage? Well, I think there are two reasons for it. The first is that she's used to a very compliant puppy dog press corps that followed her around as Secretary of State all over the world. Those aren't political reporters. Those aren't people who have Washington as their beat. Their beat is the State Department and foreign policy. And as such, they follow her around. They're there all the time. Whenever she lands in a foreign capital, they come in on the next plane or even on her plane. And the only source of information is really her. And if they're on the outs with Hillary, and Hillary's mad at them, and believe me, she has quite a grudge list, then they can't get access, they can't get stories, they can't get the information that they want in order to write good stories to cover the work. So she's used to that kind of a compliant press corps that never asks any tough questions, and even if they did, only knows anything about foreign policy, not about politics in general. So she went into these interviews, I think, quite confident that she could handle them, because for 4 years as Secretary of State, she handled the press corps rather well. But she didn't realize it was a totally different animal here, that these are reporters who were very competent, very qualified at picking someone apart in an interview. Diane Sawyer is just great. And she walked in unprepared. Why didn't her aides teach her better? Well, it's very hard to brief Hillary Clinton for an interview. Believe me, I've done it. You bring up a subject and she says, no, that won't be asked. Or she gives an answer and it's not a good answer. And you say, well, I think it would be better to do this. And she doesn't change. And then you push it and you push it. And at some point very early on, she explodes. She has a fit. She says, I'm done. We're done with this prep. She walks out. Hillary is a very temperamental person when it comes to receiving criticism. Bill is not. Bill loves criticism. The more of it he gets, the better. And if you don't criticize him, he doesn't feel he's getting his money's worth. Hillary really gets her back up. And I just don't think any of her aides really were able to confront her with the kind of tough questions she was going to get on the media tour. And as such, she was totally unprepared for them. When she came out with a line like, totally in debt or dead broke, she needed one of her staff people to say, but you weren't dead broke. You had $16 million in income that year. You'd signed a huge book contract. Your husband had too. You'd bought 2 gigantic houses right before you left the White House. You can't say you were dead broke. If anybody dared say that to her, she'd take their head off. And I think that what she's watching now is the consequence of that kind of a staff relationship. Tomorrow we'll explore the next question, which is, will this hurt Hillary? Will this disastrous rollout impair her chances of getting the nomination? Thanks for watching.